on day 14, I woke up and I made myself a smoker to help the cooking part of these potatoes go a lot smoother. After cooking a few of them, I got to work on sorting out and organizing all my storage, because everything was just crammed into one chest and it was really triggering me because I am a neat freak when it comes to storage in this game. Anyways, after my super tidy, I got to work on expanding the island a bit more because, well, I had some leftover cobble and, well, I may as well use it. Now, I didn't get too much progress done because this place is getting kind of big now, but hey, progress is progress at the end of the day. And on that topic, by the time I was done expanding, it was the end of the day, so I went to bed. Okay, now you remember as I mentioned that I wanted to make a gold farm earlier, and well, I was planning on making it later down the line, but I realized that gapples could possibly save my life if something goes really bad. So I decided to start gathering all the resources that I would need to make a somewhat fast and efficient rudimentary gold farm. So for the next 3 days, I mined cobble and chopped trees non-stop until the end of day 17, when I had enough resources to start work on the farm. Oh, and I also got my first iron ingot from a zombie as well, so that was quite cool. So, on days 18 to 22, I made myself a nether portal, and now you may be wondering how I lit the damn thing, but that's okay, let me explain. I used my humongous brain that we all know I have, obviously a joke, but I used lava and wood to light it, and then boom, we were now in the nether. But there was also a second portal in here, which I've never seen before, but I guess it's just part of the map. Anyways, the chest down here had a fire charge in it, so I used it to light the second portal and learned that you cannot mine a gold block with a stone pick. I don't know why I thought you could. But anyways, after that incident, I made myself a little platform and started work on the gold farm that would hopefully work first try. And well, they took a little bit of encouragement to jump off, but oh boy, was this thing efficient. However, it was very scary having like 30 pigmen to try and kill you. Anyways, after having a few of them commit no longer part of the living realm, I collected their remains and returned home to make myself a shield, and then headed back into the nether to secure a little base around my portal. Just so that if some did survive the fall, then they couldn't get to me as easily. Oh, and I also lowered the platform in which the pigs drop onto and die by 2 blocks, just to make sure that as many died as possible, even if they were wearing armor. And, well, this just made the farm even better. I mean, just look at this thing. Now, the odd pigman can hit me if I'm not careful, but if I, like, keep my distance and stuff like that, this is the easiest source of gold ever. I mean, especially if there was a hopper system underneath as well, but unfortunately we don't have that luxury right now, so, yeah, after a while of looting them, I went home, and it was night, so I went to bed. And on day 23, I woke up feeling very, very good about things. I mean, we now had a mob farm and a gold farm, and it felt pretty good to finally start getting some good materials. And when I say good materials, I mean good for SKYBLOCK. Anyways, I started to smelt down my golden swords into nuggies, and then crafted the nuggies into ingots, which I then used to make myself some golden apples. Now, I know there aren't many of them, but don't worry, I'll spend a while in the gold farm later to make more. But for now, my objective is to get a zombie villager and another witch, because mine despawned, sadly. So I spent the rest of the day just swinging at the mobs in the spawner, hoping to get one of the 2 spawn. And, well, after a while of killing things, I did indeed get another witch to spawn, that I then quickly trapped again, and now all I needed was a zombie villager. In the process of waiting for one to spawn though, I ended up finding a second witch, and got 2 more iron drops from zombies. But finally, there he was, my zombie villager. I quickly freed him from the death pit, and then trapped him in a boat, built a roof over his head, and got to work on making the witch throw a potion of weakness. But that was a lot easier said than done. You see, they don't throw them that often, and when they do throw them, you need to be less than 3 blocks away from the witch when they throw them. But here's the kicker. They can also throw potions of harming that will deal 3 hearts of damage, so it's very, very risky, but it is really worth it. So I sat there and I tanked potion after potion after potion, until finally I got hit with a potion of weakness and gave the zombie a golden apple. And then I went to bed, because this man's going to need a while to cook before he turns back into a normal villager again. So whilst waiting for that, I took a few swings at the mob grinder, and well, I saw this skelly boy with diamond booties. This man had hella drip, and I didn't actually know they could spawn with them on. So I killed him, but sadly, no diamond boots for me. So I decided whilst I'm waiting for Mr. Villager over there to cook, I may as well be productive. So I decided to make some more progress on expanding the island some more. Until finally, I got the achievement for curing a villager, so I rushed over to see him, and just look at this beautiful specimen. I love him, and therefore, his name shall be Plooper. Plooper the Great. He shall become my armorer from here on out. But the only problem with that is I need a blast furnace, and, well, I only have 2 of the 5 iron needed. So you know what that means, right? Mindlessly slaughtering hordes and hordes of defenseless mobs until they drop me the loot that I'm looking for. Oh, but wait, there's another zombie villager. Let me just put him in a boat. Oh, wait, no, I can't, because Sweeping Edge has done what it does best. Absolutely nothing. Anyways, it's fine because I got another one to spawn and trapped it in the nether accidentally, so I don't know what is going to happen with that one. But yeah, I chilled at that grinder all day and night, and I didn't get one single iron ingot. So then I started thinking, is there any other way to get them in SKYBLOCK? And the only way I could remember was piglins. Piglins can trade them, so all I need to do is stack up on gold, and I literally have a farm for that, so the iron problem is solved, right? So I rushed to the nether with 2 goals in mind. I wanted to collect as much gold as possible and trade for as much iron as possible. Also, when I got there, I killed the zombie villager because it wasn't worth my time trying to cure him and bring him back. But anyways, my goal was to get a load of gold and to catch a piglin in a boat and then use them to trade with. But well, that was easier said than done. So after about 20 minutes of piglins dying for random reasons when they hit the boat, I realized that you can't actually get in a boat by falling, I'm pretty sure, so I decided to go and make some hay bales instead, and, well, would you look at that, they worked first try. And I got started with trading straight away, and after trading like 40-something gold, I actually ended up with 65 iron nuggies that got made into 7 iron ingots, so that's 2 more than I need anyway. So overall, this plan worked out pretty successfully. Anyways, I headed back home to start smelting down some of the stone to craft my blast furnace, that I then crafted and placed down to give this man a job, and then I realized that I'd forgotten the biggest thing when it comes to trading with villagers. I'd forgotten about emeralds. The literal only currency in the game just slipped my mind. You see, I'd need emeralds to trade for armor. So the entire point of the blast furnace was pointless right now. So I just really quickly made a composter and made him a farmer so that I could actually get some emeralds. So, Poppers, was that entire time in the nether a big waste of time? Well, no, because I still need a blast furnace for the second villager, so don't worry, we will get use out of it yet. Anyways, after harvesting some crops and trading with the villager, it was getting dark, so I called it a day. On days 29 to 30, I worked on grabbing more cobblestone to expand the island a little bit more so that things were a little more open. And by the end of day 30, all the stairs were finished, and I had now made a start on one of the sides of our new livable area. Okay, so next up, I wanted to branch out to some of the other islands to see if they had anything of use on them. So I started out by heading over to the sprucey snowy island and decided to make my bridge out of wood, because then when I'm done, I can just burn it down afterwards and it wouldn't just chill there being a cobblestone eyesore forever. And I mean, if you ask me, that's a pretty genius idea, however, I never burnt them down. Anyways, I got over to the island and, well, it had a pumpkin and some snow in it, so I decided to gather up all the snow and maybe make a snow golem later so that I could have like an army of them to defend my island. And I also noticed that there was an amethyst cluster or geode or whatever they're called just chilling at the side of the island, but I really wasn't interested in getting anything that it had to offer me. So instead of going and looting that, I patiently waited for a sapling from the spruce tree and, well, I never got one. So I headed back home, put all the stuff from the island in a chest, and then headed over to the mushroom island next. But before setting off, I grabbed my bed to take with me because it was starting to get dark and I really did not want to get stranded over there with phantoms or something attacking me. Anyways, I got over to the island and it was just covered in mushrooms, so I placed my bed down and went to sleep. And on day 31, I harvested the mushrooms and some dirt, and then I returned home to store some stuff away. And to get to work on some other things, like tidying up the center of the island because it was a mess and it was really starting to bother me. So I moved a few things around, and boom, look at this. Look at how much better this looks. And yeah, the villager hut thingy's still there, but it's just another one of those temporary structures that's going to be there for a while. And you also may be wondering what happened to the cobblestone generator, and to that I say, I built an underground platform to store the cobblestone generator, storage, and water source on. So yeah, it keeps the top pretty tidy and it's pretty cozy down there. And now with all that being done, I took a few swings at the mob farm, ended up getting attacked by a zombie, and then went to bed. Okay, now these are some busy days coming up. You see, I decided to go into the nether and have a look around because my render distance was now higher than it was earlier. And I could see all of the extra nether islands all around me, so I thought it'd be a good idea and worth my while to head over to the fortress to see if there's any cool stuff over there. And when I finally got there, I was expecting like a blaze spawner, but actually all I got was glowstone and nether wart. There really wasn't much else here. It was quite disappointing actually. So I took all the stuff, headed back home, and put it all in a chest. Now I got to work on getting the second villager, so I'd need a second witch and a second zombie villager. So after a while of killing at the spawner, I got a witch and a zombie villager to spawn at the same time, but unfortunately I had to kill the zombie. But it's fine though, because I eventually trapped the witch whilst almost dying to it. And after that I went to bed because I didn't really want to risk losing my current like villager to a zombie to then end up being a zombie villager again. But in the morning it was straight back to bonking the mobs at the spawner until finally I got a zombie villager to spawn. So I broke him out, trapped him in a boat and started the process of curing him when I realised that I didn't have any gapples left. So I headed into the nether to grab some and then almost died to this pigman right here, which was very, very scary. Anyways, I farmed some gold and now we can finally cure him. And after literally all day of trying to get a weakness potion and failing miserably, I went to bed and continued on in the morning, when finally I cured the villager and now I just had to kill some time. So I harvested and cooked up some more of my potatoes and then went to bed.